God has called you for a purpose today, and that purpose is to serve Him. And the Lord shall deliver me, verse 18, from every evil work, and will preserve me unto His heavenly kingdom, to whom be the glory forever and ever. Amen. Forever and ever. God will preserve you. God will prepare you today. And He will make you and mold you into what He would have us to be. We're all just servants today. We're not above the Master. Begin to just release your faith today and serve God with all your heart and with all your soul. And know tonight that through Him, all things are possible. The Bible says, have faith today. And just begin to stand on His Word tonight. May God bless you, each and every one. I hope something that was said today would help you in some way. If you're struggling tonight with your cause God put upon you, don't wait until it's too late. You know, I'm reminded of a message that I heard one time. Sometimes we can leave that answer machine on, and we just think God will keep on calling, but one day He's going to stop calling if He has to keep leaving a message and we don't have to obey Him. So be prepared today. Do what He has called you to do. Also, I heard a story one time. This preacher said he was in the midst of a big congregation. Saw many come to the Lord. Over 10,000 people in one service come to the Lord. He got down on his knees and prayed as humble as he could. And he said, God, why'd you call me? I'm not worthy. And he said, God spoke to him and said, you're the third person I called, but the only one who obeyed. Would you be one of those other two that God called and missed your blessing because you didn't do what God wants you to do? Or would you be that one that felt like you was unworthy, but you done it anyways? I was in Louisiana today, stopping up a few yard sales when we was on the main stretch of the road, but most of the day we've been on the interstate. But for 96 miles, we was lucky enough to get a scenic route. But I stopped off and I was talking to this woman. She had her long dress on, her hair bundled up, and I said, apostolic or Pentecostal? She kind of laughed. Said, what? I said, well, I know because the hair of the dress, it's either apostolic or Pentecostal. She laughed and said apostolic, and I said, well, that's what I was raised. And I've been preaching since I was 20 years old, and I said, as soon as I saw you, I said, I knew you was one of them. And I began to witness to her, talk to her about God and different things, and was telling her that I could tell she was looking at my age. And I said, well, I'm 35. I started preaching when I was 20, and I opened up my first church by the time of 25, 26. And she said, that's amazing. And, that is truly amazing tonight, what God has done. There was a time in my life that I ran from God, just like some of you are today, and I didn't obey God. There'd be a time in my life that you would have told me, even after I started preaching, and whenever I sat down my ministry for 2 years, you could have told me I'd be on vacation in 5 different states and be here preaching in the middle of nowhere in a picnic area right by a gas station where I don't even know what town it is, and I told you it's crazy. You could have told me that I'd be preaching in front of a pawn shop and a gas station, and a man be listening to me, wouldn't leave his car so he could listen in the middle of Louisiana, and I would have told you it's crazy. But here I am. Obedience is better than sacrifice.